Let's talk about research and people I know who've done research. The broad subject of Bates. About the year 2002, I contacted a man, Alex Eulenberg, in California, and he maintained a site called i-c.org, and I'll post it. And discussions along those lines suggested I post a simplified book, my book, called How to Avoid Nearsightedness, emphasis on avoiding, highly technical. And this book is very easy to read. You can click on it and read it at home. I realize that most people are not technical, and so they're not going to understand it, but that never stopped me from doing it. So after a lot of work, I've got to Alex put it on his site. And where you find it is you type ic.org and then select library. And then you go down the library and look for books. And below books, considerably down, you find Otis Brown, How to Avoid Nearsightedness. Very briefly, the first 3 chapters are general and just talk about how the theory of nearsightedness was established by Kepler 400 years ago, and the various thinking about the eye over the years. It is a book I would look for. I know they've asked Jake Steiner to write a book, and I recommend it. Alex Eulenberg was very good, very interested in this, huge, massive data. And in fact, the problem with most of this, people are overwhelmed by the massive data. It doesn't reflect on their intelligence, but it's because it's such a massive subject, and everybody has made their own cut on it, including optometrists, ophthalmologists, everybody. And the result is sort of a mass confusion about everything, and then an anger that optometrists aren't doing enough or so forth. Some optometrists, ophthalmologists recognize the problem, and so what happens when they make a recommendation for a plus, let's say you're 20/40, the person explodes and says, I don't understand that. I will never understand that. Just give me the minus. I accept that. As a matter of fact, in defense of medical, I will agree with them. They're 100% right. It takes a really good mind to understand what you want in your life. And I try to restrict myself to a person who really needs to get out of it, needs to go from -0.5 to +0.5 in terms of diopters, self-measured. So the 2 people I'm talking to are Ben and Masquerade. Yeah, I enjoy this. I'm an engineer. I do things by analysis, statistics. A lot of friends doing this. I don't conflict with medicine for the simple reason that I want the responsibility. I want to do it myself. I want to be in control of my life as an engineer and in control of my vision. And because of cataract and surgery 2008, I could in fact practice what I preach. But I just don't advocate recovery much beyond about 2040 or 2050 on your Snellen. So feel free to comment on this post. Look at Alex Eulenberg's. That's 20 years ago. He still maintains the site. As you know, my immediate relatives got this full blast, if you will. I didn't ask them to get to 2020, but I said maintaining the DMV is how you avoid getting or wearing an overprescribed minus lens. It's obviously, in my opinion, that first minus is a killer. And medicine doesn't have time enough to discuss what the alternative really is when you're at 20/40, and has a public that is just a lost cause. So that's why I restrict myself to, let's say, 18-year-olds entering a four-year college who can go through this and choose prevention for themselves, because it's all or nothing. There's no compromise, no middle ground here in science. So I'll post this and think for yourself. This is not about children. It can't be helped. It is about a mature adult at 18 who can make a choice, educated choice. I hope you enjoyed this as I do.